Hello, let's try again. I just talked around 30 minutes and then I noticed that my camera actually wasn't recording. So let's try again. So this is our last day of 5 must-to-have plants in witchcraft. And we are going to cover about rose. And well, now when I have actually covered it, it's all in my head already, so I probably don't even need notes. So let's talk about health properties of the rose. Rose have the same type of properties as lavender had. So it works for the acne. It soothes the skin. You can make rose water, apply on your face, use it as in a bath water, use it as an oil. It's pretty easy to make rose oil yourself. I do that, and I use in health-wise, you know, it's very good for the puffiness and such. So let me just see if I... Well, it's good. It didn't stop recording. Good. I was already afraid that it's going to stop recording. Let me just quickly, I did notice that I don't want to waffle about different topics. So I want to kind of have that's why I have my notes in front of me, that I can talk about them in order. So it helps to soothe skin irritations, and it soothes also the sore throat. So you can, if you want to, you can make rose candy if you want to. Personally, I have noticed that I think I have tried rose candy once, and it depends. I think you need to add quite a bit of sugar there as well. But it is often used more of kind of rose water type of form. So to soothe sore throat, and it reduces the skin redness and prevents all kind of infections and treat infections, a little bit like lavender as well. So having a bath with lavender rose is my recommendation, and it has been actually used as even eye drops. But I always try to keep away from this kind of very medical recommendations, because I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to recommend that you would put anything in your eyes. But rose water has been always used in the beauty sector as a rose water. But it also contains antioxidants, and it is seen to be protecting the cells from damage. It heals cuts, scars and burns because of its antiseptic properties, and it enhances the mood. And then we go back again to this, what I have mentioned on my earlier videos, that the scent and how you can make the scent to work to your favor. So if you're always happy, if you're happy on a certain moment, then take the roses and smell them. Then your brain starts to think that roses means happiness, lavender means this, and etc. So let's say if you always use lavender in bed, then keep using lavender in bed. Use roses for something else. I use roses for divination. I use it for the dream work. I put it under my pillow. I use it for the protection. But that goes to more into the magical properties that I will cover shortly. But let's also say that a few more health benefits that it has. It relieves headaches. And there has been actually study, so I'm not making this up. There has been study on that it has seen to be used to, rose water has been used to soothe headaches. And another option is to apply compress soaked in rose water for the head for 45 minutes for positive results. It has anti-aging properties. You have probably seen it in the cosmetics sector. It soothes digestion problems. That is also a medical study that has been done regarding that. You can actually buy dried rose tea, so it's very easily accessible. And when you make the tea, it improves the hydration and provides skin benefits, treats digestive distress, and obviously, as I mentioned before, soothes the sore throat. And rose water is considered to be safe unless you use those roses that you get from the shop. I don't know what they are treated with. They are most likely to be treated with something. Sometimes they spray all kind of glitter on it, and so I wouldn't use that. But if you have access to it on your own garden or when you're on your walk outside, then that would be great. That I can recommend. So yes, use it as a facial cleanser or toner, and just rinse the face with the rose water and work as a normal cleanser. Someone actually recommended the hibiscus iced tea with rose water. I have tried to grow hibiscus, but it doesn't. I have managed to kill off 3 plants that I bought, so it maybe is not growing very well in Scotland, unfortunately. I like the hibiscus plant. So let's go to my Trello board so I can talk more about the magical properties. So rose is seen as a female plant and connected to female intuition because the flower itself is linked to this kind of yin energy, so female energy. And taking a bath with rose water or using it fragrance will develop this intuition and will attract love, health, and good luck. It's also used with Wicca, so that means a neo-pagan religion, to enhance love as an enhancing factor in the love spells. Some people write things on the rose petals. That is one possibility, and blow your wishes away, or then you go to the woods and write your wishes and just leave them as offering, and you have something written there. It's when you walk a path of witchery, so to speak, then you decide how you use things, and one person might use that rose differently. I use a rose for protection spells, and if I do healing spells, I use rose a lot. When someone is ill in my family, I use rose a lot because I feel that that's a kind of has that kind of closeness energy attached to the rose. And as I mentioned, full moon rituals. Full moon is a time on the full moon, and one day before and day after you can use any spells on that time. So if you don't remember what I taught you about the different moon phases, then you can just use full moon to these different kind of spells. Some recommend to boil it. I would just recommend it to keep it in oil. It really, the smell really comes out in oil. But if you prefer the water-based rose water, then that is fine as well. It's interesting that I came across with a recommendation that if you use it for love spells, Well, there's a different views on love spells. Some people feel that love spells shouldn't be really done at all. And I tend to think that you can enhance certain powers and you can put your wishes out there. But it depends if you bind someone. If you bind someone, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But let's say if you have a wish and you want to put a wish there, then I think it's a white energy and it's a positive energy and it's a little young-hearted, that kind of wish energy. So it doesn't hurt anyone. But you can, if you go too deeply into this kind of binding someone to love you, then that can be causing all kind of cord attachment to your body. So meaning that you will link someone's destiny with you, and someone has to actually come and cleanse you and cut the cords out of you, that you're not attached to someone else's destiny. So I think there should be always free will, and free will, by the free will I mean that you are responsible for your own destiny and for your own happiness. So I jumped to that, but I wanted to cover actually something else. So I mentioned that when you do love spells, it is seen that you could remove the thorns from the rose, and that will enhance the love spell, because but thorns, again, they can be, remember when I mentioned that it's a protecting plant. So, and we talked about the witch's bottle. So if you want to do a protective witch's bottle, then put those thorns inside that bottle. So same with the nails and things like that. So something spiky and you can put it there. Or let's say you want to make a protection spell for you so that someone wouldn't hurt you. Then you can incorporate these thorns from the roses. I came across beautiful this kind of love spell that says that someone used it like that they used tree leaves of the rose hip and they etch it and for each leaf they choose a man, and the last leaf that stayed on that necklace that they put the leaves on meant that was a man for her. So as today's task, I would maybe ask from you to research. Pinterest is good for that, or just use Google Photo. I mean Google. You just put in the Google that you're looking for the love spells or rose love spells, and then these pop up, and you can then after I download this video, then you can pop them down here, and then I can cover when I come live tomorrow. So yes, so only thing what I really have to add anymore is that it also works with fairies. So if you have a garden where there is roses, put a little fairy door under the rose and make it comfortable for the fairies, and it could be kind of your outdoor fairy garden, so to speak. And fairies are always intrigued of all these things that people do, and all these kind of mirrors and glittery things and gold, and so if you ever have gold gone missing or something like that, then it's probably fairies have carried that and dropped it somewhere, well, because it has been so heavy to carry, and then they dropped it somewhere, and then you find it under your rug or something like that. Well, this was about rose. I hope that you found it interesting to hear. And see you then again on 2 p.m. On our final day when we wrap up this course of 5 must-to-have plants in witchcraft. And so far we have covered then. First day was rosemary, then there was a mint, then was sage, and then was lavender, and now we are on rose. So I hope that I made a good selection and it was helpful for you. And let's catch up on 2 p.m. And let's talk what you have found in Pinterest or online that we can share with other people here in the group. See you then.